We're back.
Are we recording?
We are.
Is this happening?
It is happening.
Who are we and what are we doing?
I'm Clara.
And I'm Tilo. I'm
and
Toronto.
This is
Positively Speaking. We're still alive.
We are.
I think it's been a year since our last video.
I know, and we promised that we wouldn't do that
You know
again.
what? I told Clara for the past 12 months that we needed to go and do a video to give.
What he didn't realize is that he always comes at these inopportune times.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there. Let me tell you what inspired me. Let's not talk about the past and why Clara didn't want to do a video.
Or why Tyrone didn't.
But let's talk about what inspired me to come back and want to do a video today. As you'll notice here on display, we have a shrimp salad. Now, those of you who have been watching last year on our episodes of Positively Speaking may remember a little episode, my personal favorite, where I read a letter that Clara wrote to the offices of Nordstrom regarding inadequate shrimp salad that she had received from the Nordstrom Bistro.
Cilantro lime
Please
salad.
Pause this video and go watch that video, the Nordstrom complaint video, before continuing. As you'll notice, the shrimp in this salad are jumbo.
They are. And this is not from Nordstrom's. This is from Clara's Bistro Kitchen at home. But anyway, we wanted to just give y'all an update on what happened with that whole debacle. Actually, Nordstrom's made it right. After we did that video,
Mr. Nordstrom!
The same day, I got a call from a VP at Nordstrom's, and they had a huge meeting with all of their managers because they were trying.
They probably were like, who the hell would write this crazy single?
No, they were no. That's one good thing about Nordstrom's is that they want their customers to be happy, and if there's a problem, you can count on Nordstrom's to make it right. But you have to let them know. So they met with all of their managers, and what they found out was that they got the wrong shipment of shrimp. And instead of them sending them back because they would not have been able to prepare the cilantro lime shrimp salad, which is their best seller, they decided at this bistro to go ahead and use them. And so I received an apology and a thank you for letting them know. And I got explanation on the bread. They weren't trying to cut costs. They had made, in my opinion, a poor decision about putting the soup bowls in the warmer so that they could serve soup in warm bowls. I'd rather have my soup in a cold bowl than have warm bread. But anyway,
yeah, let us not digress.
We won't digress
into the video that they need to go watch.
Just to let them know, just to let y'all know, it all worked out well, and I was not a crazy person like somebody seemed to indicate that I might be, but they made it right. So thank you very much, Nordstrom's. Now, next topic.
So anyway, I'm so excited for us to be doing a video again. This is fun.
It is fun.
So yeah, sorry.
And y'all have been asking, thank you so much for always asking me when we're going to do another video, because we love doing these.
We do. We love looking at ourselves and hearing ourselves talk.
We do. We actually do. And speaking of which, isn't he handsome?
Oh, stop.
Oh, please. Let me tell you what. You want to tell your story. You're very welcome.
No, I was telling Clara, my dear friend Clara here, a story about giving compliments and receiving compliments. I always give compliments to people when they're deserved, and I find it really easy and comfortable to compliment people.
So do I.
Yeah, I've actually learned this from you.
You've learned a lot from me. But anyway, we'll talk about that on another video. Go ahead, tell your story, because this really is important.
Anyway.
Yes, it's important.
Thank you for instilling so much knowledge in me with all of your ancient wisdom.
My pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this important thing, it's important for us as we go about life to not only give compliments, but also know how to properly receive them. Mm-hmm. And what I've found is that some people are quite uncomfortable when people compliment them. I was out yesterday in a celebration and just mentioned to a few people, hey, this or this and this, you look great, or hey, something nice. And some people try to make you wrong when you compliment them.
They do.
And it's like, I think it's part of our social upbringing and our conditioning that we're taught that, we shouldn't think that we look good, or we shouldn't, we should be humble, which means that humility is good.
We've been socialized to believe that you are not supposed to recognize your own attractiveness. And if you do recognize it, you're never supposed to say it. I disagree with that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Because the reality is that there are a lot of people that would be dying for people to walk up to them and, say something nice about the way they
Absolutely.
look, or something about what they've done, and no one's saying anything to them. So the only proper thing that one should say when they receive a compliment from someone is,
thank you. And it's true, because it's nice to compliment people, and it's nice to receive compliments. And there is nothing wrong with you being aware of your attractiveness, because people are not that nice. We're really not that nice to compliment you if we don't think you're attractive. And for me, when I hear people denying their attractiveness, it makes me crazy. And I always challenge them and let them know that, people pay good money to look like you. And so since God has given you this gift,
container,
and it's a gift, because people may not believe this. Well, yeah, people believe it. Research has been done. People who are attractive have many more opportunities than people who aren't, and that's just the fact. People will pull you out of line at the airport and take you through security without being checked, because you're attractive. They will give you things. They'll give you discounts. They'll do all kind of things. People get jobs because of everything. People enjoy being around people who are attractive. So if people
is that why we got so many friends?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it's also because we're nice.
Okay.
And we love people. But when someone gives you a compliment, learn to say thank you, and close your mouth.
Yes.
You don't have to say, oh, I like your dress. Oh, this old thing.
I gained so much weight.
Oh, I got this on sale at Penny's.
No, this isn't real. These are tracks in my head. This ain't real. Look, nobody asked for all that. Okay?
Just say thank you. Repeat after me. Thank you. Because you have been blessed. And walk in it. Yeah. Believe it.
Let's not make people wrong that are paying you compliments.
Really.
There's gonna be one day when people are gonna be paying somebody some compliments, paying you some compliments.
That's right.
And you're gonna need to stack up on some compliments now.
And you also need to learn how to be your own best friend, because if you don't think you look good, why should you?
Oh.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you. Okay.
We love ourselves.
We do.
We are just the funniest. And
we love y'all too.
The funniest and
but we also love us. That's right.
But anyway, I'm so unused to being back at our little format here.
This is fun. It's fun.
Okay, what else should we talk about? It's only 8 minutes and 40-something seconds, so
you're normally complaining about it being too long.
Well, we're not close enough to our average 25-minute mark yet.
Okay, well, let's talk about not making assumptions.
Oh yeah.
People making assumptions. So
one of my favorite of the 4 agreements.
Yes.
As if there's many of them.
There are 4 of them. But I love all 4 of them. I really do. Not making assumptions. I had a situation recently where a friend was, shall I say, a little bit hurt because I had not been in touch. And most of you know, I've had to cancel lots of social engagements because the real estate world is crazy right now. It's crazy. And so I just don't have time to do all of the things I'd love to do. So this friend texted me and said, I'm so disappointed. You don't love me anymore, and you haven't been in touch, and did I do something wrong?
There's a lot of assumption in that. I recently got one the same, and first of all, I owned up to it because I hadn't been reaching out, and the reality is I had to really be honest and say I can be somewhat of a loner sometimes and not reach out to people, not because I don't want to reach out to people, but just because it's just kind of part of my nature. It doesn't mean that I don't want to have you in my life or be around you. It's just that one of the strengths of my relationships with people kind of comes from them tending to be the ones that reach out, or I mean, I reach out a lot to my friends and stuff, but it's just like when you're this popular, basically, it's hard to reach out to everyone. No, I'm kidding. But
we're busy.
It's tough, and it's really easy for us to make assumptions, because I've been guilty of it in the past as well. Like, well, so and so is hanging out with so and so. They're not hanging out with me, or they're not calling me enough. And the reality is that really, until someone tells you, I mean, until I tell you,
absolutely,
stop calling me, or I don't want to hang out with you, then why would you assume, if nothing has happened between us that would indicate otherwise, why would you assume that I don't want to hang out with you?
Because I'm not ever going to assume that. I assume that everybody loves me. And until you tell me otherwise or you show me otherwise, then I just feel like you love me. If you have demonstrated in the past that you do, then I trust that you do until you tell me otherwise. And that's what I want you to do as well. Until I tell you otherwise, don't assume that I don't love you anymore, that I don't care about you, because trust me,
she'll let you know.
When I don't, I will let you know, because I do not tolerate people in my space whom I have lost affection for. So, just know.
Wow, I'm really blessed to be here today.
Yeah, you are. But in all seriousness, don't assume. I mean, I don't have low self-esteem, and what I find
really,
no,
I don't believe you.
What I find is that people who have low self-esteem, anything that happens in your life, you always take it personally, and you always wonder, well, what did I do? Why don't they like me anymore? It's not about you.
And it's important, even with friendships. I mean, I'm single, so I can't really speak from the voice of someone in a relationship. And as an outsider looking in, as well as someone with friends, I think it's important with relationships for communication to always be there. Because I think a lot of
communication?
Yeah. Misunderstanding. God, you are just so wise.
I know.
What would
imagine that?
What would I do without you? You're really pretty, Clara.
But thank you for noticing.
You're welcome. But a lot of misunderstandings happen because people don't communicate, or people think, well, if I say this, they're gonna think poorly of me, or and it's like, just say something.
Because we're not mind readers. We're not mind readers.
Yeah. And how am I going to know that it's important to you that I text you once a week, or call you once a week or twice a week, or we go out and have lunch every once in a while, whatever, unless you say, hey, this is my love language, or this is how I speak, or this is what's important to me, or, it's really important to me with my friends that this is what happens. It's important to me that you're punctual, or it's important to me that you do X, Y, Z. Like, if people don't know, then they can't speak to you in a language that you understand, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense.
And then you have expectations that they don't even know that they're not meeting.
And if you have not or are not familiar with the 5 love languages,
which are
Gary Chapman.
What? Gary Chapman?
Gary Chapman is the author.
Oh.
So look it up. They can go and Google it. But I would recommend that you read it, because you may be in a relationship with someone or someone's, and you're not speaking their love language, and you are frustrated because you're wondering, well, why is it I can't seem to do anything to get this person to understand how much I love him or her? Well, it's because you're not speaking their love language. You're speaking your love language. You're doing for them,
while simultaneously wanting them to speak your love language.
Exactly. You're doing for them what you would want done for you, but that may not be what they want. I mean, you may be husbands, you may be fixing this around the house and doing this and making sure that the trash is taken out and all of that. But what if your wife or girlfriend
or partner,
what if that person's love language is words of affirmation?
Meanwhile, you're expecting acts of service.
Exactly. Or gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they would love for you to acknowledge them with flowers or a card.
Meanwhile, you're over here, you're not touching me or whatever. And they're like,
Exactly.
well, I don't know. So as long as you're committed to the relationship standing and not committed to being right or having everything revolve around you, if you're committed to working through a relationship, which it's my understanding that they all take work,
They take work.
then it's best that you do some due diligence, I think, to make sure that you're fluent in the other person's love language,
Absolutely.
or at least conversant.
At least conversant. You know?
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Oh, well, anyway, that's all we wanted to talk about. This is short for us.
It is short for us.
I'm gonna cut it off. I'm playing my executive producer role.
And all of you short attention span folks, you should be happy.
Well,
You're only at 15,
some of them disconnected like 12 minutes ago.
Oh well, they're not just short attention span. They have something else wrong with them.
Claire, this was so fun.
It was so fun, and you know what?
I love hearing us talk about stuff that we're in agreement on.
Yes.
Maybe we should. Nah, I was gonna say maybe we should do video on a topic that we don't agree on.
Well, because there are many things that we don't agree on, and I'm sure one day we will do a video on one of them or many of them.
Well, anyway.
Yes. Until next time.
It's a good thing that I'm committed to our relationship standing.
And it's a good thing that I am open and committed to our relationship standing.
You're such a good friend.
I know. I love you.
And really pretty.
Thank you. And you're very handsome.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Mean it.
Bye.
This was fun.
It was fun.
Silly. Oh, hit the stop button.
Stop.